action repeated every day involuntarily becomes a habit. Our whole life shapes up with the habits that we perform every day. An action of brushing your teeth every day has become a habit. No one has to remind you, it's an involuntary process. An action of checking your phone or social media every 10 minutes, no one reminds you, you do it every day and now it's a habit. There are habits that make our life happy and productive and few habits that are bad for us. In short, habits define our entire time and energy we spend on every day. By now you know that to develop any habit, we need to practice an action for a pretty long time. There is no quick way or shortcuts for it. So how to develop or create new habits and stick to them? From my personal experience, I failed many times trying to copy habits that somebody else was doing. I was trying to build businesses because it looked cool on the internet. So I was done doing actions that wasted my time and energy and came up with these 5 powerful ways to create or develop new habits and stick to them. If you're in a quest to know how to stick to life-changing habits, this video will transform the way you think about habits. So please watch the video till the end. So if you're somebody new, let me introduce myself. I'm Jagrati. I do videos on mindfulness in all spheres of life. I do videos about self-care, self-growth, productivity, and digital mindfulness. If you're somebody new, please consider subscribing to my channel. So let's begin with the 5 steps. So the step number 1 is build momentum for habits. Check your ability for habits. Now, any habit that you want to develop has to have the ability to satisfy your body and mind. It has to have the ability for your mind and body to accept it. Now, for example, if you want to develop the habit of fitness, and now you say you saw one of your friend going to yoga, so you decided you want to start doing yoga, so you take a yoga class, you take a membership in a yoga class, and then let's say every day you wake up at 7:30 in the morning. So now you have your yoga class starting at 7 o'clock, you have to wake up at 6 o'clock. So today you woke up at 7:30 and tomorrow you have the yoga class, so you have to wake up at 6 o'clock. Now you keep the alarm. So you wake up, the alarm rings, you're snoozing, you wake up with great difficulties, rubbing your eyes, you go to the class, you're yawning, and then the teacher starts teaching you asanas and you do the yoga. So how does your day look? If you're somebody who works for a 9-to-5 job, you go to your work, you're feeling sleepy the entire day because you woke up really very early, and then your body aches, and then you might feel a little disturbed, you cannot concentrate on the work, but still you repeat it for a couple of days. You wake up at 6, go to yoga until few days and weeks, your body and mind starts giving up. Now, why does this happen? This happens because none of us realize or analyze the strength of our body. We don't understand our body and mind's set points. No, whenever you're waking up too early from your routine, what happens? You're shocking your entire body and mind. So your body and mind is in a complete shock. So we are not sober computers. In computers, what happens once you update your RAM, the computer starts working very fast. It does not happen with humans, right? We are humans. We tend to change, our body and mind tend to change very slowly. So the way to wake up early is probably if you wake up at 7:30 tomorrow, you have to keep an alarm for about 7:15, that may be 10 to 15 minutes earlier, so that your body has time to adjust very slowly, and then probably practice it for a couple of days, and then you can start waking up at 7 o'clock. So this is what is called as building momentum for habits. You should understand what is the capacity of your body and mind. Now this has happened to me. This I'm talking through my personal experience. There are times when I just wanted to do the gym because somebody else was doing. I started waking up extremely early, started going to the gym, and after a few days I'm like, I cannot do it because I knew my body was totally exhausted. So it's all right, even if you take 1 month or 2 months or 3 months of time to understand or take time to build momentum for your habits. So that's the way of slowly adjusting your body and mind for the habits. The second step is practice for 21 days. Now, once you know that your body and mind is ready to accept the action, Do it for 21 days straight. This is what is called as the trial and error method. Now, for example, if you want to develop the habit of meditation, for example, so how do you practice? So what are those 21 days of practice? You're trying to figure out if, doing meditation in the morning works are good for you, or meditating in the evening works are good for you, or if you're somebody who works like from a 9 to 5 job and you're totally busy and you think you don't have time, you can always probably take 5 or 10 minutes during your commute or when you're traveling. Just be silent, close your eyes, breathe in and breathe out. Or maybe, in your lunch break, you can take 5 minutes from your lunch break to, quietly sit by yourself. Or sometimes you think, you don't have time in the day at all. Don't beat yourself up if you're not able to, fix to a particular time, because these 21 days are just, trial and error and experimentation phase where you're trying to figure out which is a proper way of doing the habit. So if the day does not work, before you hit your bed, you can sit calm, you close your eyes, and then meditate for 10 minutes before you go to bed. So those 21 days of practicing gives you enough time to adjust with the habit and go all in. So as long as you're happy doing it, understand that your body and mind is adjusting with the habit. So don't stop, keep going, practice it for 21 days straight. The third step is reminder. The power of visuals. To be able to stick on to habits, I believe that putting up the habits as visuals on my vision board helps me manifest it better. You can always write down your habits on a sticky note and stick it in the place where you spend most of your time, or at the place of your work. You can stick it on your laptop if you spend most time working on it. You can keep a reminder on your phone. You can even stick it on the fridge if you're somebody who spends a lot of time in kitchen. So basically, when you look at the reminders, the habits etch onto your subconscious mind and triggers that part of your brain that motivates you to take action. Step number 4, repeat the action for 90 days. Any action can turn into an habit only when it becomes an involuntary process. So for your action to become a habit, repeat it for 90 days. Then you would have developed a successful habit. Now it's been almost 100 days since my habit of no caffeine 5 hours before the bedtime has started, and I don't have to remind it anymore. Like since I've crossed the 90 days of doing the action every day, now it's become an habit for me. Every evening I don't have to remind myself. My body can feel that I should avoid caffeine and start drinking something else, maybe like milk or hot chocolate or something else. That's the power of habit. That's the power of repeating an action for 90 days. It converts into an habit. So let's take a very simple example. Now, as an adult, no one reminds you to brush your teeth, right? Unless you live in a primitive life, like you just wake up in the morning, go to your sink, start brushing. But what happened when you were a baby or a kid? Your parents probably had to remind you to brush your teeth. So doing that action for so many years has become an involuntary process, has become a habit right now. How to stick to your habits? Do it repeatedly for 90 days, that is 3 months. If you really struggle to stick on to habits, you can download an app which is called as Fabulous, which is a productivity and a habit tracking app. I just downloaded it a few days before, so it's a nice app. Also, there are a lot of habit tracking apps online which you can download on your phone. So I am someone who believes in keeping up reminders on my vision board. That's how I tend to stick on to habits in an organic way. But habit tracking apps are also very much helpful. Hey, so it's a quick tip here. If I've read a book which is called The Slight Edge by an author called Jeff Olson, which talks about how to rely on habits to improve your life. It's one of my life-changing books. So if you love reading, you can please read this book, which is called The Slight Edge. I read my books on my Kindle, so if you want, you can buy it from Amazon or from any of the bookstore. I'll give the link in the description box below. So the final step is step number 5. Reward yourself. Self-appreciation and self-love. Now, for every little achievement in life, learn to appreciate yourself. Your mind releases happy hormones which are good for your well being. Appreciate for the efforts that you're making to develop a new habit. As adults, too often we forget patting our own back. Instead, we look to receive external appreciation for others. When you're developing a habit, it's for your own benefit. It might benefit others indirectly, but it's you who will be happy and it's your life that's going to change. So through the journey of learning a new habit, give tiny rewards for yourself to feel motivated, happy, and peaceful. These are the 5 powerful ways to create and stick onto habits that I do in my personal life. And so how to create and develop habits and stick to them. First is build momentum for the habits. Check your abilities, check your body and mind's ability to accept it. Second thing is practice it for 21 days. That is, it's a trial and error method, so practice that action for 21 days. The third is reminders. Put reminders, put it on your vision board, stick your visuals on your laptop or the place that you work. So something that reminds you about sticking onto your habits. Fourth one is repeat it for 90 days straight. Repeat it for 90 days. An action becomes a habit when it becomes an involuntary process. So repeat it for 90 days. And fifth one is rewarding yourself. Self-appreciation and self-love. Always be happy, always reward yourself for the effort that you're putting to create new habits. So if you loved watching this video, share it with your friends and family, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I come up with videos every week. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.